I want to dive into something that we all do, but we don't always realize. We live in our heads a lot, constantly imagining, replaying, or predicting certain scenarios. There's a quote from Seneca that says, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Our imagination can actually create fears and anxieties that weren't even there. But let's just say you were to invert that perspective. You can win or prosper more in imagination than in reality. And from like a pessimistic point of view, that can be perceived as actual suffering. But I'd like to look at it from a more optimistic and encouraging position. If that other part is true, then our minds can also create the motivation and dreams that push us forward. If you can visualize a dream and like truly, like really feel it, and like and you talk about it like it's already there, that can make you manifest it. And if you can really manifest it, like manifestation is such an incredible thing. If you can really like talk about it, and you almost believe what you're saying, you will inevitably achieve that level of success. You will inevitably achieve that goal. Recently, I went through a breakup, and breakups suck, and it made me really reflect on how I had imagined that relationship to be quote unquote perfect when maybe it wasn't. What I'm really realizing, and I'm only 19, but what I'm realizing is like it's all about your perspective. It's all about your paradigm. If you look for the good in someone, you're going to find good. If you look for the bad in someone, you're going to find bad. Something that just reinforces that bias, that narrative that you already conceive. I said your mind can be your worst enemy. It can literally be so destructive and just ruin your life. Just constantly eating at you. Every negative thought that you have is just like on loop. This is all just like pretty surface level. I just really needed to get this video out because I haven't gotten a video out in a couple of months, and I don't know, this was just a topic on my mind. But changing the way you approach reality is probably one of the most difficult things that you can do. Hope. Hope. We have all felt it, and it can be described as the feeling of expectation and desire for a certain thing to happen. A Harvard and John Hopkins researcher did the study where rats were placed in buckets of water with no means of escape. They just wanted to see how long they could survive there. And on average, the rats gave up after around 15 minutes. Then they had another set of rats, but just before the rats gave up, the researchers rescued them. They were rescued. They dried them off, they gave them rest, and then they would put them back into the water. Now, how long do you think those set of rats survived compared to the ones who survived for 15 minutes? Maybe like an hour, maybe like 2 hours, or maybe just a couple of minutes? 60 hours. 60 hours. 60 whole hours. And that perception is just based off of hope. And that is the thing that I'm trying to get at in this video. Our minds can make something look amazing or terrible depending on what lens we're using. Like the camera I'm using, like you can either shift it to make it blurry or you can make it clear. It's all depending on what lens we're using, what perspective we're using to see our life. Belief is another thing. Believing in someone, or more so, believing in yourself. Believing in yourself is just so overlooked. I mean, not a lot. I talk to a lot of people, they don't believe in themselves. Even me, I don't believe in myself like throughout the day a lot. Henry Ford once said, "The man who believes he can and the man who believes he can are both right." Your beliefs shape your actions, and those actions end up shaping your outcomes. And the crazy thing is you can choose how you want to use it. You can choose which perspective you want to look on life. You can have a totally pessimistic perspective. Just look for the bad in everything. Oh, there's homelessness out there. Oh, there's this. Oh, there's that. There's war. There's blah, blah, blah. And if that's how you want to live your life, go for it. I don't want to change your perspective. I'm just saying how your perception of this world can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. You can choose how you want to view this world. I don't want to change anyone's opinion, but it can either hold us back or it can help us see new possibilities, new opportunities in this world. So the next time you imagine the worst, try flipping it, and imagine the best instead. And it's so easy to say that. Where I am right now, it's so easy to say that. Just point at a camera and be like, "Yep, do that." It's a lot harder to put into practice. But the main thing I want to get out of from this video is you can do it. I can do it. You can do it. And I'm guessing that if you clicked on this video in the first place, and if you stayed this long and you're still watching this, you want to change your perception. You want to change your perspective. There's probably something eating at you. But if you become conscious, consciousness is such a great thing. If you become conscious on your words, on your thoughts, and really stop yourself. Wait, hold up. I am looking at this from a totally pessimistic and negative point of view. Let me just stop myself. Let me just look and shift my paradigm on this, and let me look at the good things out of this. And sometimes the negative might outweigh the good. That is the case with some situations, actually with a lot of situations. But as human, we are given this gift of perspective. And I really think perception, your perspective, your paradigm, the PPP, that can be your best friend or your worst enemy. So, try to use that in the best way possible. So the next time you come about yourself, imagining the worst, try flipping it and imagine the best or a better version. That's my piece. If you're interested in more stuff like this, I have more stuff like this on my channel. Why don't you hit the subscribe button, like it,